Is Xabi Alonso a good fit to manage Liverpool Football Club when Jurgen Klopp leaves at the end of the season? We're going to talk about it. There's a lot of talk. Is he fit for Liverpool? For the most part, Liverpool fans seem to want him at the club. And most football fans think there's no way they're going to get him. If they get him, they're going to be amazing. They're going to be this, going to be that. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about why he will be a good fit and why he won't be a good fit. Counter the two, and then kind of come to a little bit of a conclusion. Will Xabi Alonso be a good fit for Liverpool? Firstly, I want to get the positives out of the way, the good things, why he should be the next manager at Liverpool. And the obvious bit, which everyone knows, is his love and his passion for Liverpool is already there. He supports the club. His kid was born in Liverpool, and I know the kid wants to come back to Liverpool. This would be a perfect opportunity for that. He already has a connection with the fans. He already has a connection with Anfield as a stadium. He knows how difficult it is to play at that stadium. He knows the fortresses. And with him coming into the club, with the fans already having a connection with this club legend, I don't think the atmosphere at Liverpool will falter, will get any worse. I think it's going to stay at this level. And with Xabi Alonso coming into the club, he's only going to elevate that. We're going to be screaming and cheering for him. We already have songs for him. I feel like that's perfect. You know, with Jurgen Klopp, he came into Liverpool coming from Borussia Dortmund, and I think we already kind of had a bit of a connection with him. He certainly had a connection with us, given the You'll Never Walk Alone, and I think Dortmund fans are quite similar to Liverpool. It is quite difficult to play at Borussia Dortmund's stadium. And he's done an incredible job at Leverkusen. I mean, he's in his second season and he is going to win the Bundesliga. He is going to break Bayern's record of how long the 10 years winning the Bundesliga. And the last time they lost it was when Jurgen Klopp won it. So it's weirdly poetic for that to happen. I mean, he's a great manager. He is. You know, you don't get to the position that you're in unbeaten if you're not a great manager. Now, one of the things I think is also great is that he's a good man. You know, one thing that Jurgen Klopp did wonderful about this club was he got likable people into the club. The players were likable. They were great, but they were good people. And they were people that kids would look up to. And I think Xabi Alonso is that as well. And he's a good character as well. If you watch some of his matches or maybe just a highlight of Xabi Alonso this season, he's a good character. He's fun to have at the club. He's funny. His midfield experience, obviously Xabi Alonso was a fantastic midfielder. And I think his experience in midfield may strengthen our midfield. You know, the likes of Trent possibly moving into that midfield position, given Bradley is now coming into the club. And, our midfield is already very, very strong at the minute. We have so many options, so many great options. For Xabi Alonso to come in and bring that to a whole new level would be fantastic. I mean, Pep Guardiola, if I remember correctly, he was also a midfielder. And think about that Man City midfield. That Man City midfield for the past 10 years, or however long, 8 years, however long Pep's been at that club, that midfield has been so solid. It's been, the best in the Premier League. Michael Edwards by his side. Michael Edwards coming back to take over the football at Liverpool is, of course, a massive positive. Everyone's very happy about that. He did an incredible job with signings for us. Mane, Salah, Virgil van Dijk. He made 130 million for our club for Coutinho and Benteke about 30 million. So he's fantastic at his job. And having him by his side will only be a massive bonus. I also said that he's a great rival for Pep. They're both Spanish. They both know each other. And the great thing about Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola is they kind of had that fun rivalry where they're friends, but they have a rivalry thing going on, and we're going to get that with Xabi Alonso and Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola says he doesn't want to leave the club at Man City at the minute. He is fine at that club, which I don't blame him, They do have a lot of money, and I do think that's a big reason why Man City have done so well. 115 charges. Now, we're 5 minutes into, the positives, but we also get into the negatives. Why is he not a good fit for Liverpool? Well, I think the first thing is, can he handle the pressure of a massive club? Liverpool are a massive club, one of the biggest in history of football, and certainly possibly the biggest club in English football with Manchester United. Can he handle that? Can he handle the pressure? I think he might, but we've got to raise these questions either way. But I think the main thing is his style of play. Does his style of play fit Liverpool? Will our players who have been playing a style of football... I know we've got some new players who, have come in and played Jurgen Klopp's style for a year, but we do have players in this club who will be starting that have played a very specific kind of style of football for a long time. Will we be able to adapt to that? His formation at Leverkusen is very different to Liverpool. We play 4-4-3. He plays about a 3-5-2, something like that. I think it is a 3-5-2, which means no right backs. In fact, Xabi Alonso is playing left wing backs and right wing backs. Does Bradley play right wing back? Yeah, he can. Left wing back, we might have to get somebody. Where does Trent go? Does Trent go into midfield? If Trent goes into midfield, where does Jones go? Where does McAllister and Szoboszlai and Endo? Where do these incredible players go? We have so many midfield options. What do we do? What do we do about that? Can our players adapt to that? Or will Xabi Alonso adapt to us? Will he start playing 4-3-3? But will he change the style of play? What I mean is, he has a style of play because of his formation. And if he adapts to 4-3-3, we can still have a new style of play. That is not Jurgen Klopp. But Xabi's got to adapt to that. Can he? Again, we will find out if he comes to Liverpool. I mean, it's a risk. It's definitely a risk. He's a great manager, but he's done 2 seasons. He's done an incredible job, and he definitely is an incredible manager from what we've seen. But what we've seen is 2 seasons. In the first season, he came at a very struggling Leverkusen. They were bottom half of the table, and he managed to make them finish in Europa League, which is fantastic. He turned that club around when it hit 2023. That 2023 onwards, I mean, they were incredible. They were one of the best teams in the world. I'd go as far to say they were ruthless, and now they're on an unbeaten streak. That's incredible, but we haven't seen much of him. We've seen him in one club, one way of football. If he comes to Liverpool, can he do it? It's a massive club. Does he have the experience to adapt to a whole new club in England with so much to think about? Obviously, we don't have extra staff. Some of our staff members, and Pep is going to be walking away. Possibly Mansion Ajax is the rumour at the minute. We need to get new staff. Is he going to bring some from Leverkusen? Possibly. Again, this is all theoretical. He may not even come to Liverpool, but things we've got to think about. And another thing is, Liverpool love their players. I love every single player in our squad. Every single one of them. Don't get me wrong, I can get angry at players and disappointed and fall out of love for a game over players. I know Cody Gakpo and Nunes and Alisson I didn't love during the Arsenal game. But we love our players so much. And if our players are having to adapt to this style of football, some of them may not be able to adapt. If we don't do 4-4-3, what happens to Mohamed Salah? What happens to Cody Gakpo? What happens to Luis Diaz? Darwin Nunes has pretty much secured his place up front. But what do we do with them? What do we do with our Jadon Dans? Will Xabi Alonso... I don't know about Xabi Alonso's relationship with the youth team at Leverkusen. But our academy is looking incredible. Incredible. Do we get rid of them? Because I don't want to get rid of them. Will our players be able to adapt to that? And if we do change formation, who's going to stay and who is going to leave? and I don't want to say goodbye to our players. And that's the thing. We love our players so much. We're going to have to get rid of players, but it's a risk that we might have to take. That's it for now. I think in conclusion, I think he is right for the club. Because I think if he doesn't work out, which I do think he will, if he doesn't work out, I genuinely believe in 2 years' time, Jurgen Klopp could come back to Liverpool. I really believe that. He's taken a year off break. Maybe he takes over the England job. I think, personally, I don't know if this is worthy of a video, but I think Jurgen Klopp is a wonderful, wonderful fit for England to be the England manager, or even Germany. So he could take over that after Gareth Southgate, but Gareth Southgate, I don't know if he's going to be, if this is his final year, I'm not too sure. I think this is his final competition, so we do need someone to replace quite quickly. But I think Jurgen Klopp, if you take over England or Germany, it's not a difficult job for him. But I think if he doesn't have a plan in place, I think if Xabi Alonso doesn't work out for maybe 2 years, we can't, unless we're in the bottom half of the table, we're not going to get rid of him after his first season. But there's a lot of pressure on Xabi Alonso to do very, very well at the club. And definitely because we've had such an incredible transitional year this year, this was meant to be a transitional year, but we're top of the league, well, joint top of the league. And we've already won a cup and we're on for a quadruple. It's a lot of pressure, a lot of expectations for everybody, even the players themselves. Virgil van Dijk will stay at the club and he will be a fantastic, captain for Xabi Alonso. But will Xabi Alonso even come to the club? We don't know. We have no idea if he's even going to come to the club. But if he does, I think he will be a good fit for Liverpool. I'm a big fan of Xabi Alonso ever since I was a kid. I just love watching him play and watching his highlights, and yeah, it's fantastic. That's it from me. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think Xabi Alonso is a good fit for Liverpool? Do you think he will come to Liverpool? I think there's a lot of strong rumours and sources at the minute saying, yeah, I think he could come. So, we'll see. But thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe, like, and comment, all that good stuff. My Instagram, everything's down below. Yeah, subscribe. Thank you very much.